Oh, what's up, everyone? No, you didn't expect to see me, didn't you? It's a special Halloween takeover episode. Special one. Here we are on Mike from Did You See That's channel. Yes, you can see I'm taking over the channel tonight to review Rosemary's Baby, a 1968 classic that I've never seen. Me being a horror fanatic, a horror fan, that's my life, my diehard love of a genre for film. I've never seen Rosemary's Baby, so I finally committed this October to watching it, and Mike also committed to joining along with me to watch the film. So you're going to hear our thoughts on it. Like I said, he's going to drop a review as well. You're going to catch that on my channel, as he's going to be taking over my channel for the day. And happy Halloween to all you out there, all you spooky people, you ghouls, you witches, your goblins, all of you. I hope you have an awesome Halloween. So like I said, today we're going to talk about the positives, the negatives, the rating for Rosemary's Baby, and then I'm going to send you all home. So let's do this. Roll it. And please, before we get down to the review, please swing over to Mike's Patreon page. He has a bunch of different tiers and different rankings of places you can join for different amounts. And they all have different perks and different stuff that comes with it, where you get exclusive access to videos and also get to suggest that he reviews videos or the kind of videos that he gets to drop on the channel. So really fun. Be sure to check that out. The link will be in the description, so please do that. Rosemary's Baby came out in 1968, and this one stars Mia Farrow, who plays Rosemary Woodhouse, and she's the loving wife of a struggling husband or actor husband named Guy, and they get a new place in town, and what they come to find out is that she becomes pregnant, and then she slowly starts to suspect that something's wrong with her pregnancy. It's abnormal, that she actually thinks it's not of this world. And what also leads into that is they have some really spooky, kind of creepy neighbors who are very, evasive, very, just taking over your space and stuff like that. So like I said, this is a kind of creepy, very psychological horror thriller film from 1968, and this is a total classic. This has inspired many films, such films like The House of the Devil and many other films that are inspired from this kind of movie. And like, man, for me, watching this film for the first time as a horror fan, I am happy to report that I actually did have a freaking fantastic time with this movie. Kicking off the positive is that this film has strong 60s vibes. Like, you can clearly tell this is a horror film from the 60s. It has that atmosphere, that vibe going on, and it also is a very deep psychological thriller horror film, and I like that. Like, this one is frightening in much more different ways than like a Jason type film or a ghost type movie. Like I said, this one is definitely in the mind, to scare you, and especially when we get into the second and third act, when we have Mia Farrow in the commanding spot as Rosemary, and you see what's going on around her and all the characters and what's happening and what's progressing in the film. Man, it's crazy how everybody disbelieves her. Everybody's kind of calling her a liar. She thinks something's wrong and she feels like something's awkward. She's having this pregnancy, but she's losing weight and she looks worse and worse and just feels very different, and she's having awkward nightmares and dreams and stuff. So it's just a really creepy film, like I said, that you have to commit, because this is a slow burn type film. So like I said, you definitely have to commit, because it takes its time building up to what eventually the end is in the third act of this movie. And I really thought the makeup and practical effects and like even the costume design, very simple, very, like I said, very practical. Like I said, simple stuff like cutting her hair, making her look very pale and very thin with certain makeup and everything. So they did a really good job in this film with the makeup design and the prosthetics and all that kind of stuff. Even though, like I said, it's very simple stuff. It's nothing major like John Carpenter's Thing status, but it really does sink you into the role and make you think about her character more. Because like I said, in the beginning half of this movie, it's really about two characters. It's about her and it's about Guy. So it's about both of those characters. But when she's in full command and it's mostly about her, and you're experiencing everything through her eyes and her feelings and her anxiety and what's happening, that's when this movie is the best. I also do like the score in this movie, but it does take like I said, it takes time to come into the film. It doesn't really start to really pop up till later into the movie when she's actually pregnant. That's when really this movie takes off, is when she finds out and discovers that she's pregnant, because they've been trying for a really long time. And like I said, Guy is a struggling actor, and she's just a devoted wife, and she wants to give him his baby, and they're living in a new place, so they want that dream life. So once she discovers that she's pregnant, that's when the film really takes off, and it's like the momentum just keeps rolling and rolling. And I really enjoyed our side characters, like the crazy neighbors who are like the satanic cult characters. Like, oh man, for real, that is definitely weird, awkward, charismatic characters that are in this movie that really assist in making this a unique film. And this film, I would say, is like almost like, you know, Lords of Salem is another movie. Get Out. Those are some other movies that I could think of that are modern versions of, or modern films that have taken a very nice homage from this movie. So Rosemary's Baby is totally a film that after watching it and after experiencing it, I can see why it is totally an instant classic in a lot of people's eyes. And especially once you get to that third act, that's another huge positive, is the third act. They just go for it. I like the imagery. Some of it is a little bit misunderstood, like you can't really get into it, but it's supposed to be awkward. It's supposed to be crazy. It's supposed to make you feel uncomfortable and like you don't know what's going on. So I think the imagery and the shots that go on, especially in the third act of this movie, it gets really potent. And like I said, that's when it really takes off, and I really was having a fantastic time. But let's get into the mixed and negatives, because there were a couple mixed and negatives things that I had. And my main negative, to be honest, with this film is I think the direction by Roman Polanski. I actually think his direction and, like, you know, the cinematography, his eye for the camera, there wasn't anything really special there, like in terms of that. I really wish there was more, you know, creative, more interesting shots in this movie. And like I said, just the shot composition, all those kind of things. And the fact that we have a very slow pace at the beginning of this movie, that's another negative for me, is that it takes about 25 minutes to really sink into this movie, to really get into the story. So like I said, but you have to have those first 25 minutes to get the payoff moments that you get in the third act. You know what I mean? This is a complete film. This is a film that I don't feel like it has fat on it. I don't feel like you can trim anything off. I just feel like there's something about the way that it could have been directed, and I think the way it could have been handled, that maybe would have made the first 25 minutes a little bit more interesting, and we could have enjoyed ourselves more, and the payoff would have even paid off even more in that third act when we got to it with Rosemary. Another negative for me is that I don't really enjoy the actor that plays Guy. I don't know his name. I didn't take down his name, but oh man, I didn't really enjoy him or like his acting. Like, I appreciated all the other characters. Like I said, everybody else was pretty good. I loved all of them, but his was the one that I was like, I could, like, you know, but that's kind of the minor negative. All the other two are more major negatives. The acting from him is kind of a minor one, because really he's only in the first. His presence is really only felt in the first act of the movie. Like I said, once you get into the second and third act of this movie, Mia really takes control of this movie as Rosemary. It's really all full on a tour de force performance by her in the latter half of this film. So Rosemary's Baby, like I said, for me being a horror fan and I never saw this one, this was a fantastic watch for this October, and one I will never forget, one that I'm eager to return to, and I bet you can't wait to find out what the rating is for Rosemary's Baby. Rosemary's Baby, for me, in my book, is going to sit at an 8.5 out of 10. This is a very solid rating. Like I said, one film that I can't wait to return to, and like I said, for it being a much more psychological thriller type film, not a lot of, you know, the stuff that I usually like I'm a slasher guy, I'm a zombie guy, so extreme gore, extreme nudity, you know, a lot of kills, like that's typically my realm. For this being a film that doesn't sit in that kind of subgenre or in that camp, I really had a really fantastic time with this movie. But thanks for sticking around with me, all, as these are just my thoughts and my opinions on Rosemary's Baby. Like I said, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. You want to hit up Mike from Digits. He's a fantastic guy. And be sure to hit over to my channel, Norin Radd89, where you can check out his thoughts and his feelings on Rosemary's Baby. Because who knows, We never know. We might have a difference in opinions, or were we kind of in the same camp? Like, it would be really fun if we both enjoyed this movie, but even if we have different opinions, that's some of the best things about us. But don't argue, don't fight in the comments. It's safe to just, like I said, share your opinions so we could all discuss down below, and also have that notification bell poked so you're notified anytime I post a video. But most importantly, you know what's up. Have a safe and happy day. Peace out.